Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana, and today I'm going to demonstrate a playthrough of Viticulture Essential Edition, and I'm going to demonstrate the solo mode and specifically the aggressive variant. So if you're interested, stay tuned and let's get this game to the table. Before I start the game, I want to explain a few things about it and show you a few aspects of the game in case you're not familiar. One thing that I really appreciate about the game is it comes with a very nice insert. You got place for all the cards here. You've got component boxes for all the different player colors, and everything fits nicely into the box. So that's something that I've really appreciated about this game. And I have played it multiplayer as well, and I actually prefer it multiplayer. But I do like that games bring out solo variants, and Viticulture Essential Edition actually has multiple versions of solo player games. You can do a campaign where there's 8 different challenges that you try to conquer in order. You can do the basic solo version, which has actually 5 difficulty levels. If you take the very easy level, then you actually do 8 years or 8 rounds of the game. If you do the easy level, you take your starter counter and you start at the 3 mark instead of where it starts instead of where it says start at 0. If you want to go to the normal level, then you start at 0 and you place the Automa's marker on the 20 or end spot here on the table. And if you want to go to the hard mode, then whenever you draw an Automa card, you make sure that you put at least 2 of the Automa workers on the board for every season. Sometimes in the normal game, you wouldn't necessarily have 2 workers coming out. You may have 1, you may have 0, you might have 3, but in the hard mode, you make sure there's always at least 2 each of the seasons when workers get placed in the summer and in the winter. And then there's the very hard mode where you do that, but you put the scorer for the Automa up to 23. And then there is the aggressive variant, which is one I'm going to demonstrate. And in the aggressive variant, you actually start the worker at -1. And you can do the aggressive variant with easy. So I could start at 3, normal, where I start at 0, and difficult, where I would make sure that the workers come out at least 2 for each season. Now, if you're not too familiar with viticulture, let me give you just a very cursory overview. The board actually does a wonderful job of explaining how the game plays. In fact, right over here on this side, it tells us that in the spring we're going to choose wake-up positions. And the wake-up positions are right here. There's a little grid with 7 rows, and each row has a particular thing that you would gain, except for the first one. The first one, you don't gain anything. And the second one, you gain a vine card. And the third one, you gain a wine order card. And the fourth one, you gain a lira coin. And the fifth one, you can take a summer or winter visitor card. And the sixth one, you can take a victory point. And in the seventh one, you get an extra worker. And so you choose which one of those you're going to do for the spring, where you're going to wake up. And in the solo variant, you put these little beads, which actually we use to mark what kind of grapes and what kind of wines we have over here on our player boards. But we also use them to mark each of the 7 levels, because you have to beat the Automa in 7 years under the normal variant. In the aggressive variant, you just have to stay ahead of the Automa and get to the 20 in 7 years. So there's an extra feature of kind of a pace that you have to keep. Then it says there's the summer, and in the summer is where you're going to place workers. And when you play Automa, you only place workers in the far left circle of all of these different spots, same as a 2-player variant. And the board is divided into the summer spots, which are yellow circles over on this side, and the winter spots, which are purple circles over on this side. So in the summer, you would be placing your workers 1 in each of these, as many workers as you choose. And then in the fall, you draw visitor cards. You can choose to draw the yellow summer card or the blue winter card. Then in the winter, you place your workers over here in the winter section. And then at the year end, you age your grapes and wines, and we'll be demonstrating all of this as we play as I play the game. Then you retrieve all the workers off the board, both yours and the Automa. Then you collect residual payments. So as you fill orders, as you fill an order, they give you an opportunity to earn residual income, and we use this little marker here to indicate that. So right now it's just in the center, and then once I have 1, I would move it to the 1, and then the 2, and then the 3. And so the more residual income I can get at the end of each year, I'll be gaining that extra income. Then you discard down to 7 cards if you happen to have more than 7. And then you rotate the player, it says on here, from counterclockwise if you're playing multiplayer. Obviously, that won't apply for the Automa. So for a couple other things for the Automa, you're going to use one color for yourself, which I'm using orange, and you're going to use one set of colored meeples for the Automa. You don't need any of the different structures for the Automa. You only need the structures for yourself. So down here I have my 6 meeples for my workers. I've got 5 normal workers and 1 grande, and here I've got 5 normal workers and 1 grande for the Automa. And then I've got the different structures that I can build down here onto my player board. Now on the player board, we've got our 3 fields that are of different values. This one's worth 5, 6, and 7, meaning I can only hold vines up to those total values, and I can also sell those fields for that value in coin as well. There's a place for the trellis, which is needed to plant certain types of vines, and a place for an irrigation tower, also used to plant certain vines. There's a windmill spot where if you build that, every time you plant a vine, you'll gain a victory point. There's a cottage spot where every time you do the gaining a card in the fall, you actually draw 2. So you would get to pick 2 summer or 2 winter or 1 of each. There's a yoke where you can place that token there, that structure, and it allows you to put your meeple actually here, your worker here, to harvest an extra turn if the harvest spot in the winter season is full. And then there's also a tasting room where if you give a tour, which is one of the options on the main board, and you have the tasting room table in place, then you can also gain a victory point as long as you have at least 1 wine in your cellar. Over here we've got the crush pads for our red grapes, numbering from 1 to 9, and we've got our crush pads for the white grapes, numbering from 1 to 9. We also can just sell the grapes if we need money, and anything in the first row is worth 1 lira, 2 lira, and 3 lira as indicated on the board. Over here we've got our cellars. You automatically start with a small cellar, and then you can build the medium cellar for 4 lira, and you can build the large cellar for 6 lira. And until you do build the medium one, you can't have wines of value 4 through 6. And until you build a large, you can't have wines of value 7 through 9. In the small cellar, all you can have are the burgundy and the white different colors of wine. In the middle medium cellar, then you can also then combine a white with a red and create blush wines. And then once you've achieved the large cellar, you can combine 2 reds with a white and make sparkling as well. So you've got red, white, blush, and sparkling. So that's a quick overview of what we see on the board. I won't talk about each of the placement spaces. I'll mention those as I play. And then the cards above, as I mentioned, these are the 2 visitor cards that we can draw. These are the vine cards that we'll be planting in our fields. And these are the wine orders that we'll be taking to try to fill and earn victory points. When you play against the Automa, there is a deck of Automa cards, and they have this grape emblem on the back. And on the front, when you play them, there's going to be yellow, green, red, and blue striped items on each. And in the summer, you put workers on anything that's listed in yellow or green. So this one only has yellow, red, and blue. And so we would just, in the summer, only put a meeple for the Automa in this spot. But in the winter, we would do both the red and the blue. So yellow and green, like these 3 on this card, go in the summer. Red and blue, like these 3 on this card, go in the winter. And so if you're playing that very difficult mode, or actually the difficult mode and the very difficult mode, then if I were to flip this over and only have 1 place to put a worker, I would have to look at another one and make sure I get at least 2 of them out. So that's pretty tough. And then there are also some little T's, letters T for Tuscany on some of these items. And if you're not playing with the Tuscany expansion, which I don't own, so I'm not, you skip those, you don't count those. I'm not going to play on the difficult level. I'm just going to play on the normal level. And I'm just going to keep these off to the side so you won't actually see the stack, but I'll show you the cards each time they play. And a round basically goes like this. For the season, you're going to choose your wake-up position, and you'll get the benefit if there is one, and you'll also get this glass bead. There's a glass bead by each one. The glass bead lets you choose a bonus action when you place your worker. Then after you've chosen your wake-up position on that chart, then you're going to turn over an Automa card and place the Automa's workers where it says first in the summer. Then you're going to place your own workers, and then you keep moving down through. So that's kind of the flow of the game. Now the key is for the aggressive variant. at the end of each round, you must be ahead of the Automa's scoring figure. And so it starts off in year 1 at -1, and after year 2 it moves to 0, after year 3 it moves to 1, and then 4, 8, 13, and 20. So you have to stay ahead of it. If it ever catches up to you at the end of the year, then you are automatically losing the game. And so you want to make sure that you earn victory points quick enough that you can stay ahead of him. And that is pretty tricky, as you'll see once I start to play. All right, so I think that explains the basics. There's more details we'll discover as I start to play, but let's go ahead and begin the game. First, I'm going to decide to play easy mode, and so I'm going to put myself up to 3 here instead of on the start. I've played against normal mode 3 times. 4 times. Twice I made it into the 5th, 6th round area. I think at the start of the 6th round I got knocked out. And then twice I've got knocked out before the 4th round. So it's pretty tough to keep pace. Everything has to fall in place. And so I'm going to start with the easy mode to hopefully show you a little bit longer playthrough. So I'm going to start at 3. So this is easy mode against the aggressive variant. All right. Now we do need to finish a little bit with setup. So on the setup we use a mama and a papa. And so my papa card is Papa Jerry. And it says I'm going to get 2 coins and a grande worker. So I'm going to take my grande worker and put him here in my available worker spot and take 2 coins. And then it says I can get a windmill or I can take 4 coins. Now a windmill usually costs 5. And if you have a windmill, every time you plant a vine, you get a victory point, which is very valuable. So I'm going to take the advantage of that and put the windmill on here. So I do only start with 2 coins, but that's a nice advantage to have that windmill, I hope. We'll see. All right, so that's Papa Jerry. And then I need a Mama card. And I've got Mama Casey. Mama Casey says I get 2 regular workers, so I'm going to put these in here. I'm pretty sure all the Mama and Pops, I haven't actually literally looked at every card, but I have played it enough times that I've seen most of them at least. And I think every one of them, the Mama card gives you 2 workers and then some combination of 3 cards. And every Papa card gives you a grande worker and some coins, and then a choice, either more coins or a structure. And so it's a kind of a same pattern. So here I'm getting 2 wine orders and a winter visitor card. So I'll put that. We don't really need those once we've set it up. Oof, that 1 wine order is going to be tough. So here's what I drew for my winter visitor. I got the bottler. It says make up to 3 wines, gain 1 victory point for each type of wine you make. That's going to be very nice. I want to get some grapes going. So those victory points are super valuable. All right. And then I've got this wine. I need to fill a 1 value red and a 3 value white. And I'll get 2 victory points and 1 residual income. This one I need a white 4 value and a blush, which is a combination of red and white 4 value. If I can fill it though, I'll get 4 victory points and 1 residual income. So I'm just going to put these here. There's not really anything that goes on the board here in that corner, just for lack of space. So now I have 3 cards in my hand, the 2 wine orders and then this 1 winter visitor. All right, so that completes the setup going through the Mama and the Papa cards. And now I need to choose in spring my wake up position. So I'm going to choose in spring, I generally do choose the extra worker first, and that's going to give me 4 worker positionings or worker placements for the first round. And anytime you choose, it helps you kind of track the years, but it also, you take this bead that's by it, and that's going to give me a bonus action on wherever I place a worker whenever I choose, and I'll try to explain those kind of as I go. So, all right, now that's my spring. I've chosen my wake up position. I've gained the worker and gained the bonus, and now we go to the Automa. All right, for the Automa, I've got a green and 2 yellows. I'm looking at green and yellow for the summer. This yellow, though, has a T for Tuscany, so I'm only going to do these 2. So green, draw. And so he is going to block that, so I'm not going to be able to draw a green card, a vine card, unless I use my grande worker. And then he's going to do a yellow play. So I don't even have a yellow card to play, so that doesn't bother me. But he's blocking that spot. And like I said, you're going to use the 2-player circles in the Automa or solo versions. All right, so his workers are on the board, and now I just have 2 spots that I can't go to. Well, I do definitely want to get a new worker in the winter season. That's one of the options here. And I've only got 2 coins right now. So I am going to go ahead and give a tour So I'm going to place my worker there, and giving a tour gets you 2 coins. So I'm going to take those 2 coins. Now I've got enough to buy a new worker. I have 4. Now I could use my bead that I have right here, and I could place it here to get another lira, but I'm going to not do that. All right. I really do need to get some vine cards because I can't start making wine until I get some vines. So I'm going to go ahead and risk putting my grande worker. The risk is if he blocks this, then I'm not going to be able to train a worker. But I'm going to go ahead and risk it because I really do need to get some vines. So I'm going to put my, put my grande worker here so I can draw a vine card. All right, and that's a tough one. All right, so it's a Chardonnay. And the Chardonnay basically says it's a 4-value white grape, which is great. But I need to have a trellis, and I also need to have an irrigation system before I can even plant it. So it's going to be a while before I can get that planted. So we'll just put that here. And now I've got 4 cards in my hand. All right, so let's see. I can't plant that. And I want to save one of my workers to hire a new worker in the end. But let's see. So I need the 4 coins. I think I am going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to sell at least 1 grape or sell 1 field. And I'm going to sell a field. I'm going to sell my 6 field. So you flip it over to show that it's sold and you can no longer plant there. And so that's going to give me 6 coins. I'm just going to take a 5 and a 1. And that's going to give me some ability to buy some more things. I'm going to need to build a structure here. I'm going to need to build a trellis and a irrigation system. And so I'm going to need the money to buy those or to build those things. And I also, like I said, I need to hire another worker. So that gives me some coins. Now I am going to use my my extra move here, my extra bonus move here to put it on the bonus action, which is gaining a victory point. And so that puts me up to 4. When I went here with my grande worker, I could have used it to draw an extra vine card, but I'm going to use it here to get that victory point. Victory points are like the most important thing, obviously, in this solo to stay ahead of the Automa. And I need to save that one, and hopefully I'm not going to get blocked so that I can hire a worker in the winter. All right, and then I need to go to fall, which is draw a visitor card. So I'm going to draw. I have a pretty good winter card right now, and I don't have a lot of needs in winter other than training that. I'm going to go ahead and draw a summer card, and I got vendor. Draw green, 1 purple, and 1 blue. So 1 vine, 1 order card, and 1 winter visitor. And each opponent may draw 1. So this is one, when it talks about opponents, you can just discard that. You can go through all these decks and sort them out and just pull them out when you want to play solo. But rather than taking the time to do that, if I turn one over that talks about opponents, then I just discard it and grab another one. So this one says all players may plant 1 green card, gain 2 for each opponent who does this. So 2 in a row. There's really aren't that many, but 2 in a row there. Lose 1 victory point to build a 2 lira or 3 lira structure, or lose 2 victory points to build any structure. Losing victory points is pretty risky, but we'll see. It may end up being something that I need to do because I don't have a lot of coins. So we'll put that aside. That's my card. And now we move to winter. So now the Automa draws its card to see what he's going to do. All right, so looking at the red and the blue, there's just 2 red. So draw a purple card, draw one of the wine cards. I can't do that. And harvest a field. Well, I don't have even planted anything. So that actually turned out really nicely for me. Neither of those things were things I needed or wanted to do. And so for my move in the winter, I only have my 1 worker. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to pay my 4 coins to hire another worker. And that is the end. Now, in the year end, we age grapes and wines. I don't have any. We retrieve our workers. So I'm going to retrieve my workers here. And retrieve his workers. And then I used that bonus, that little bonus bead there, so that's spent. And this worker can come back here, but that can no longer be chosen. The beads help you keep track of which years or which startup positions you've taken, and you can only take them once. You need to get this game finished in those 7 rounds. So That is the end of the first round. It says collect residual payments. I don't have any because I haven't filled any orders. And then discard down to 7. I just have 5 cards right now, so I'm good. All right, so now we go back to spring again and choose the wake up position. Well, I really do need to, I'm not going to be able to build everything I need to build. So I need to see if I can get a better wine card, or sorry, a better vine card, so that I can actually plant it. So I'm going to go up here and get the extra action bead and draw a vine card. All right, and I got a Trebbiano. Okay, so this is only worth 2, but it is, I only need the trellis. All right, so that could be helpful. All right, and that is the spring. Now we go to summer, and the Automa takes his move. All right, this one says T for Tuscany, so we skip that one and we go, so we're just looking at green and yellow. We go to the yellow one, it says plant, so he is taking the plant option, and then sell a field or grapes, and so he's taking that and blocking those options. So he's blocking me in those 2 spots. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my worker here to build a structure and get that trellis. So I'm buying the trellis and I'm putting it here on the player board where it shows it, just like I put the windmill over here where it shows that. So now I have the, one thing I forgot to do at the beginning of the year is move the Automa. So at the start of year 2, he moves from -1 to 0. And at the start of the next year, he's going to move from 0 to 1, and then he's going to move to 4, and then he's going to move to 8, and then he's going to move to 13, and then to 20. So he's going to keep increasing his pace. So no problem with me staying ahead. He's at 0 for this second year. I forgot to do that. I should have done that before we started this round. All right, so got the marker or the workers out there for him, and I've built my trellis. So now if I want to plant, I can, but I'm going to have to use my grande worker, and I think I will go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use my grande worker, and I could use my bead to plant 2, but I can't actually plant the second one because I don't have the irrigation system yet. So I'm not going to use the bead, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to plant this Trebbiano. And you can put it in either of your available fields. I'm going to go ahead and put it in this 7 value field here. And now I've got a value of 2 grapes in that field. All right. I don't think I'm going to bother drawing more green cards right now. And this one is the one where this yellow visitor I could do, but I'm not sure I want to lose victory points quite yet to build. I'm going to see what I can do here first and hold off on that. So I'm going to save those 2. Hopefully I can hire another worker and harvest a field here in the winter. We'll see what things he blocks. All right, so now I'm going to draw a visitor card. I'm going to go ahead and draw a winter card this time. And it's the Jack of all trades. Choose 2, harvest 1 field, make up to 2 wines, or fill 1 order. So that's an excellent card in case you get blocked in the winter, because you get to choose 2 of the things. If he's blocking one of them, you at least get a couple other options. So I'm going to put that there. That's a great card. All right, and then we move on to winter. So Automa first. Where is he going to block me? So I'm looking at red and blue, and on the red it says harvest a field, which is what I wanted to do. So he's blocked me there, and I no longer have my grande worker, so I'm not going to be able to do that. And then this one has a T by it, so that's for the Tuscany expansion, which I don't have. Okay, so I got 2 workers, and I really wanted to harvest my field, but I can't. I could use this Jack of all trades card to harvest a field, but I can't make any wines or fill any orders, so I'm going to save that till it's more beneficial. And my other purple card here says make up to 3 wines. Well, I don't have any grapes in the crush pad yet to do that, so those purple cards aren't going to help me at all. I am going to go ahead and for sure train another worker, so we'll use these 4 and get another worker out here trained. So I could use my last worker to draw another wine card to see if I could get something more easy to fill, but this one shouldn't be too hard to fill. Although I do need to get some green or some red grapes to do that. Actually, I need red grapes to fill both. Maybe I should draw another wine card with this worker. The other option would be to get a coin, because I need 3 coins to build an irrigation in order to be able to plant that. Let me go ahead. I think though I'll wait on the coin. Let me draw a wine card. And another tough one. So it's a great value, 5 victory points and a residual of 2, but it's 2 red, 2 white, and 5 blush. So that's a pretty hard one to fill. But we'll see. I was hoping to get something easier to fill, not harder, but c'est la vie. Okay. So that's the end of the year. I've used all my workers. Now we age grapes and wines. I don't have any yet still, which is scaring me. Retrieve workers. So I'm going to retrieve all my workers here and put them back here in my available worker spot, along with my grande, and then retrieving his. And that is the end of the year. There's no residual payments. I have 7 cards exactly, so I don't need to discard anything. So I'm good with that. All right. Well, I really need another wine card this round. Another vine card, but I can't choose that again. I could go for another wine order just to see if I get something even easier to fill. If I had I only have white grapes, so if I could get something that was just white, that would be nice. So that's an option. I could take a coin, which would make sure I have my 3 coins to build my irrigation. Probably the better move, or I could take a worker or a victory point. Well, this is the start of the 3rd year, so he's going to move to 1, and at the start of the next year, he's going to move to 4. So I have to advance this round in some way. Some way I have to gain a victory point to stay ahead of him. So let's see. Yeah, just trying to plan out where I need to go. I'm going to go ahead and take that coin. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take that coin, and that does give me this bonus here. No, I'm going to change that mind. I'm changing my mind. I'm going to take a visitor card to see if there's a chance that maybe I'll get something that's going to be really helpful. And I'm in the summer, so I'm going to take a summer card. All right, I could take either, but this is Homesteader. Build 1 structure at 3 lira discount, or plant up to 2 vines. You may lose 1 victory point to do both. All right, so not great, not terrible. It is nice to be able to build something cheaper. I could build that irrigation for free. That's good. Yeah, I only have 1 vine to plant anyway, so all right. So that is my spring wake-up position decision. Now we go to summer, and the Automa goes. Okay, there's only 1 green, there's no yellow, so building a structure. That's where he's going to go, and of course, that's something I needed to do. So he blocks me again. Only 1 worker, and he went exactly where I needed to go. So I could use this to build, because then I don't have to go to the build a structure, and I can build that irrigation for free. So yep, I think I'll do that. So I'll go here, play a yellow card. I'm going to build a structure at a 3 discount. Since irrigation only costs 3, I get it for free, basically. All right. And so that lets me get what I need there. All right, now I can plant this vine, and I can go up to 7 here. I'm going to go ahead and put this here. That's 6 now. Let's see, I want to make sure I save a worker to harvest, and preferably my grande worker in case he tries to block me again. Although I could use this next round too, potentially, to harvest and make wine. We'll see. It would be nice to draw another wine card to see if I could draw some red, or something with no red in it, because I'm not going to be able to make any wine till or fill any orders till I get some red vines. So, let's see. I think I will go ahead and draw another vine. Need to get some red. Okay, there is some red. Now I can't place it this turn because I've already used that. If I would have played that first, would have been smart, because then I would have seen that I had to, and I could have used a bonus to add that second vine. I did not do what I should have done. So out of order there might hurt me in the long run. So I'm going to have to wait another round. It'd been nice to have that 4 and that 2 together as well. Whew, bummer. Should have done that in a different order. Poor planning. If you do make poor bad business decisions, and you're in trouble. All right. Well, let's keep moving. So that's the end of the summer, and then I'm going to draw a card. Let me draw one for the winter. says age all wines in your cellar twice or lose one to upgrade your cellar to the next level. All right, that losing one to upgrade, hate to lose points, but upgrading is expensive, so that may be important as well. All right, and then he's going to go for winter. The Automa, we're looking at red and blue. Harvest a field, just like we thought. He's going to block me. Make up the 2 wines. All right, and then sell 1 wine as Tuscany. So, all right, so I've got my 2 workers. I don't have enough coins to hire another one, so that's not an option. I do have the card that will let me harvest and make a wine, so I could use that. But I'm gonna lose out without that middle option there. I need to get a victory point somehow. Make up to 3 wines, gain a victory point for each type you make. So I could harvest and then use that. At least I could gain the victory points I need to stay ahead of him. So I think that's what I'm going to have to do to stay alive. So I'm going to play my Grande to harvest, which means I'm going to get... Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not going to work. Well, yeah, maybe I can make it work. Okay, so I've got 6 here, so I'm gonna get 6 white. All right, so that's harvest. And now I'm going to put my last worker here to play a blue card. And I am going to have to do a couple of things here. No, I can't do that because it's a... Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this. Oh, yep. It's kind of a rough one to give, but I'm going to play this bottler. I can make up to 3 wines, gain 1 victory point for each type of wine I make. I can only make 1, and I don't have a medium cellar, so I can only make a 3, even though it's a 6 value grape. But because I made a wine, I gain a victory point, so I move to 5. So that is going to give me another year of survival. But this game is going pretty rough. I don't know if I'm going to make it through another year. All right, so that's all my workers. And now we age our grapes and wines, but I can't age it because I don't have my medium cellar yet. And man, this is coming rough. And then no residuals. I'm going to retain my workers or regain my workers. And there's 2. I have still 7 cards, so I don't need to discard. And that is the end of the round. So we're starting now year 4, and he's going to move to 4. And at the start of the next year, he's going to move to 8. So I need to get to 9. I need to score 4 victory points in this next round. That's going to be tough. All right. So here we go on the next round. What am I going to draw? I need to get that cellar. Well, losing a victory point's about no-go. So I could give a tour to get 2 points and get that cellar. And then I'm going to probably have to use one of those blue ones in the winter to get 2 tasks done. Yeah, I'm going to take this and draw. I do have 3 of these beads, which could be helpful here, hopefully, and draw a wine card. Hopefully I can get an easier wine to fill. Not. All right, so this is a red and a blush. Man, just got some tough ones to fill. So that wasn't great. All right, so that's my spring, though, and here's the summer. All right, T, so we don't do that one. Plant. Man, he just always seems to go exactly where I want to go. So it makes me burn my Grande workers. All right, so I need to plant. I need to get my medium structure. So to do that without using this and losing victory points, which I just can't afford to lose victory points when I've got to get 4 this round. And even if I can fill that, I'm only going to get 2 for that. But if I can fill an order and the bonus, that would be 3. Yeah, I don't think this is probably going to be my final round here. I doubt if there's going to be, unless I just draw a really good card, it's going to be really tough. Let's see what we can do, though. Let's go to give a tour so I can get my coins. That'll give me enough to build the medium cellar. And then I'm going to build my structure. That's 4 coins to build the medium cellar. So now I can put wines in that middle range. And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to be able to do right now. Well, I need to plant. I need to get some red. So yeah, I have to. So I'm going to have to plant with my grande. And I can put this here because I have what I need. All right. And then I'm going to need things to just work out perfectly here. My only real chance is to draw a great winter card. So it is fall now. I'm going to hold off with my other workers till the winter. All players may gain a coin to train a worker, gain 1 for each opponent who does this. So that's another one of those that has multiplayer. Draw a vine card and a summer visitor, or discard 2 visitor cards to gain 2 victory points. That is what I needed. Those 2 victory points could be my save. All right, now let's see if he blocks me, because if he blocks me, it may not matter. All right, so winter moves. Okay, make up the 2 wine tokens. He's blocking that one. This one's Tuscany and fill in order. All right, so he's blocking that one. Those are 2 things that I needed to do. However, I do have this where I can harvest and make up to 2 wines or fill in order. I choose 2. I can harvest a field, make up to 2 wines, or fill in order, so I can choose 2. So I can choose the making wine and filling in order as my 2 with that card. So that's that card. And I need to be able to play this card to gain those extra 2 points. But I'm going to have to harvest a field too. I think it's just not, I don't have enough workers and enough time to get it all done, I don't think. Because I've got to harvest before I can, yep, no, this might work. I can use one of these beads here. All right, so let's try this. Let's see if we can make it work. So first, I am going to harvest. And I'm harvesting 1 field. I'm going to harvest both. I'm going to use one of my beads to harvest 2 fields. So here I'm going to harvest a 6 white. And over there I'm going to harvest a red 4. All right. And what are my options over here? I've got a 4 blush and a 4 red. Okay. Yeah, I can't do that one. I got a 4 white and a 4 blush. I can't quite do that one either. Yeah, just don't have enough here to get those blush orders that I need. Because that's only a 3. If I'd have had that middle cellar, I could have done it. I think the only one I can fill is this one, which is a bummer. Only 2 victory points. All right. So, but I think I can at least survive another round. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put my worker here to play a blue card. I'm going to use one of my bonus beads to be able to play 2. So for the first one, I'm going to choose 2. This one, choose 2, harvest a field, make up to 2 wines, or fill an order. So I'm going to choose the 2 of making wines and filling an order. So I can make a red 4 and a white 6. And then I have enough to fill this order. Now I'm way overpaying because I'm using my 3 white and a 4 red instead of only a 1 red, but I am able to make that, fill that order. So I'm filling the order, which puts that here. It does give me 2 victory points, so there's 2 victory points. And it also gives me a residual income. All right, now with my extra blue card, because of that bonus, because I can draw a green card or a yellow card, a vine or a visitor, summer visitor, or discard 2 visitor cards to gain 2 victory points. So I play this and discard these 2, that gets me 2 victory points. Not really the way I wanted to play this, but it does give me 2, and that gets me to 9. And that is the end of the round. And so now I go to the year end, age my grapes and wines. Now I only have a medium cellar, so I can't upgrade that to the 7. So it's not going to upgrade. Now I retrieve my workers. All right, retrieve his workers. And these beads have been spent. Look at my cards. I only have 3 cards out there, so I don't need to discard anything. Collect residual, so I'm going to get a coin. So I finally filled an order. And now we have finished 4 years. We're moving to year 5, so he moves up to 8. And at the beginning of the next year, he's going to move to 13. So I need to get 5 victory points this round. All right, well, this is a 5 victory point option here. I've got a 4 and a 4 and a 5. If there's any way I can fill either one of these. So if there's a way I could get a blush, I'm going to have to harvest 2 fields to do that. Or really get lucky and draw a good vine. All right, so got a plan here. Let's see. Well, I could do this. Let's try this. For my spring action, my wake up, I'm going to go here and just take that victory point. All right, so that gives me to 10. So now I need to get 4. So if I can fill either one of these, I've got what I need for this 4. I've got to figure out if there's a way that I can get a 4 blush, or potentially draw a wine and just hope I draw something that I can fill. So I've got to get a 4 blush. I'm going to have to harvest both of these fields. So one option would be to try to build the yolk, which gives me an option to harvest here, and then I could harvest here. And then I would need to make the wine, fill the order. So I would need 1 to buy the yolk, 1 for the harvest, 1 to make the wine, 1 to fill the order, and 1 to play the yolk. That's 5, and I've only got 5 workers, so it has to work just right. Nothing can fall short. So let's see if we can make it happen. All right, so that was my wake up position. Let's see what the Automa is going to do for summer. Play a yellow card. All right, I don't even have any yellow cards, so that doesn't hurt. And then selling a field. Well, I've already sold the field I have available, so that doesn't hurt. That's good. So off to a good start this year, at least in him not blocking what I need to do. So I'm going to put this here with one of my beads to get the extra coin. So I'll take the extra coin and then use that with the coin that I have to build the yolk. So the yolk is going to go here. Now I can put a worker there to harvest a field. And that's pretty much all I can do in the summer, because I need to harvest, wine, fill, and I've only got 4 workers left. So hopefully he's not going to block me all over the place. So that is the end of my summer action, and I'm going to draw winter, hoping I get a magical card. All right, harvest up to 2 fields and choose one. Gain 2 coins or gain a victory point. That could be marvelous. Okay, because then I can save a worker. Okay, that's perfect. So things are looking good so far. We'll see what he does to block me here. Let's go into the winter, and his winter moves. He's going to draw a vine card with one of his workers. He's going to train a worker with one of his workers. And he's going to fill an order with one of his workers. All right, well, I didn't need to draw, and I didn't need to train. I do need to fill, but I've got my grande worker still, so I could overcome that. All right, so here we go. Let's see if we can make this work. So we're going to go to here to play a purple card, harvest up to 2 fields, and then choose one, gain 2 coins or gain a victory point. I'm going to harvest 2 fields and gain a victory point. So I'm going to gain a victory point and harvest 2 fields. So this is a red 4. And this is a white 6. All right. Hopefully you don't hear my grandkids in the background too loud. All right. And then, so that uses my blue card. All right. Now, so I've harvested both fields. Making wines. I need to get a blush wine here. So I'm going to make a wine. And to make a blush, I am going to take the 4 and the 6, which gives me a 10 blush, but I don't have a large cellar, so I'm going to go here with 6. Had I known that I was going to draw that card, it might have been, a different choice in the first round. I might have been able to use one of my workers a different way. But that gives me what I need to fill the order. All right, now I've got a 6 white and a blush 6 as well. All right, then I'm going to use my grande worker to fill this order. And that order is going to be this one. So it only needs 4 white and 4 blush. I've got 6 and 6, so I'm, again, overspending. But I get my 4 victory points to go to here, and I get another residual to go to here. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on here to give me another victory point. And so that moves me to 16. That was a pretty good round, all things considered. All right, that is the end of the year. We age grapes and wines, and I've spent all mine, so I have none. Retrieve our workers, so I'm going to go ahead and pull my workers back. Oh, I had one more worker, so just put him here to gain a coin. That's really all I could do, because I've harvested my fields this turn. So gathering all our workers here. All right, gathering his workers and getting rid of these beads that I used that turn. And I do get residual of 2. So now I've got 3 coins. I need to get this large cellar built eventually. Would be nice at least. Maybe I can get by without it. It'd be nice to get that extra worker. So we'll see what happens this round. I spent this, so that is off the charts. All right, so for my spring action, I've either got nothing or a coin, so I'm going to take the coin. And this is the start of year 6, so he moves to 13. And at the end of this year, he's going to move to 20. So I need to get past 20. I'm at 16, so I have to score 5 points this round. The only way I can score 5 points is if I could fill this order, which would be a red 4 and a blush 4, which I can't do with the way I have my field set up right now. Because I would need 2 red vines. So the only way to do that is if I can get another red vine and plant it, which is probably what I'm going to have to try. This one's no better because I need 2 different reds to make the blush and the red there as well. So I either need to try to draw another wine that's going to just perfectly fit. So just thinking of what I need to do. I need to fill, I need to make wine, I need to harvest. I probably need to harvest twice. Because I'm going to have to go to both fields. So, yeah, I don't have enough actions then to both draw a vine and plant a vine. So, and if I built a cottage, then I would get to draw 2 cards, but that might give me some extra values, something that would help. I have the coins. I could use that 5th one to hopefully I get good cards and go for that route. Or I could just save all of my workers for the winter and draw another wine card. Hopefully he won't block me too bad. I'm going to go for the cottage. I'm just going to see if there's some way I can maybe get some great cards to help me out. So that's what I'm going to try in the spring. So I've thought it through a little bit here, and here we go. Okay, giving a tour. He's blocking that. I didn't want to do that anyway. Building a structure. Well, that was my plan. Maybe I have to rethink that. And then selling a field. So he is blocking all 3 of those. So the risk is if I go ahead and build that cottage, which would give me an extra card, then I don't have my grande worker. So if he blocks anything over here in the second round and I don't draw a great card to give me a perfect function, I'm going to be stuck. So I don't think I'm going to run that risk of just hoping that I get 1 card extra with that 4 coins and burn the worker. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to use the 5th action to draw a wine and hope I get a great one, and then harvest, and then make the wine, and then fill the order. And then maybe that 5th action would be if I get a really good winter card in between. But I don't see anything in the summer that's going to help me too much. So I'm just not gonna do any work in the summer, and I'm gonna draw my winter visitor card for fall. Make up to 2 wines of value 4 or greater, even if you haven't upgraded your cellar. Okay, that could actually be okay, because then I could make wines with that if he blocks me. So that's good. And let's see what he's gonna do. In the winter, he is going to play a purple card, and this one's Tuscany. So now again, if I was playing the hard mode, I have to draw another one because you have to place at least 2. And so that would be rough, but you can see how hard this is even at normal level. Actually, I was lazy. I started at 3. All right, so here we go. We're in the winter. So let's see, first of all, if I draw a card, can I get lucky and draw something that's actually going to work? 2 and a 4. Now, it's only got 3 victory points. And I need 5. I can get an extra one here. Yeah, I think I'm going to fall 1 victory point short. Oh, one thing that I have not been doing, I've been shorting myself. I've had this windmill since the beginning of the game. And so when I planted those vines, I should have been adding 1 victory point each time. That's the one thing about the windmill, is I've played with that only a couple of times, and I think maybe 3 times I've used the windmill, and 2 of the 3 times I've forgotten to take the advantage. So I suppose I'll give myself the right to say, well, I know I planted those after because I got that in the setup. So I'll give myself those 1, 2, 3, which may be cheating, going back and giving myself those retroactively, but that may have changed how I would have strategized earlier in the game too, but I did earn them by having that, so that's where I should be. So, and hopefully that goof will help you avoid it if you play this game. All right, so that actually helps. Now I'm in good shape. I've played it poorly in some ways, but maybe I'm actually going to scrape out a win here in easy mode. All right, so that I drew the card, and that is actually one that's going to help me. And I'm going to then harvest. I'm going to harvest a field. I'm going to take the 4 red. And then I'm going to put one here at my yoke to harvest the other field and get a 6 white. And then I'm going to play my grande worker here, which I could actually just play here too, just making 2 wine tokens, but just to use this seismologist card, make up to 2 wines of value 4 or greater, and they're both 4 or greater, so I can use that, and no advantage really there because I had already upgraded, but those go there. I've made my wines, and with my last worker, fill the order with my last bead, get the extra victory point, so I'll go ahead and add that victory point now so I don't forget. And I'm going to fill this order that I drew that happened to be one that would work, a 2 red and a 4 white. So I fill that with my 4 red and 6 white, so I haven't been very efficient, but that does give me 3 more points, 1, 2, 3, and it gives me 1 more residual income, and that is the end of the year. I've used all my workers. Aging grapes and wines, I have none. Collecting residual payments, I don't know that I really need to because the game's over, but that is the money that I have now. And then discarding, I don't need to discard. Collecting my workers, just finishing it out here. Collecting his workers. And we are at the end of the round, and we move him to set to 20. And thanks to that windmill, I did beat him. If I didn't have that windmill, I would have ended up here in a tie, and it's a draw, I suppose. So maybe that's no, in the aggressive variant. If you aren't ahead of him, you lose. So I would have lost if it hadn't been for that windmill. So thank you, Papa Jerry, for the windmill at the very beginning of the game, and I'm glad I eventually did remember it. And so that is how you play the aggressive variant. We're starting off year 7. And we could go another year, but I've already passed the end. I actually have 1 year left, so things did actually go pretty well there. Hopefully I didn't skip a year somehow. I think I did it right. I have to watch back. But that is how you play the aggressive variant. I'm sure I made some goofs other than the ones that I caught. So you can leave some comments down below what goofs I made that I missed. You could also let me know if you've played a lot more viticulture, you probably have noticed maybe things I should have done, things I could have done that I missed out on. So let me know if I missed some opportunities there in the comments below, things I could have done better. I'm still learning the game. I've only played it about a dozen times or so, mostly solo. But hopefully that was helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed watching the video and seeing how the aggressive variant works. And if you have, I'd love it if you'd click on that like button down below, and it'd be wonderful if you'd subscribe to the channel. And like I said, leave comments. What do you love about viticulture? If you have Tuscany, what can I look forward to if I get that expansion? And if, again, if you see things I could do better to play this game more efficiently, let me know. Thanks for watching. This is Bill, Indiana, signing off.